This call has not come to you by chance. It is a cry that has descended from eternal heights, tearing through the veils of time and finding its way only to your ears. The silence of the heavens has been broken to allow this message to cross all barriers and reach your soul. I am Michael, the warrior of the Most High. I have wielded the sword in your defense since before you took your first breath on this earth. Today, with a heavy heart and trembling wings, I come to you for the last time. You have felt it, haven't you? That pressure in your chest? That feeling that something is changing around you as if invisible forces are at work? It is neither anxiety nor your imagination. It is your soul recognizing that the time for coincidences is over. Throughout your life, I have been by your side, whispering directions, providing protection, and deflecting attacks you never imagined were coming. Yet, with every sign I sent, you looked the other way. With every miracle I performed, you found a logical explanation. Every time the sky shouted your name, you covered your ears. Now, my beloved, I must tell you something that has been sealed in the eternal archives until this moment. 12 years ago, a meeting took place in the heavenly realms that caused all the angels to fall silent. It was no ordinary assembly. It was a spiritual war council, and your name echoed through the golden halls like thunder. 4 high-ranking demons had formed an alliance against you. They had discovered something you yourself did not know. Within you pulses a frequency that can dismantle empires of darkness. At that meeting, the Creator rose from his throne, and his voice shook the foundations of the universe. Michael, this son cannot fall. This daughter cannot be touched. Go and fight as if it were for me. And so I have done. Battle after battle, night after night, miracle after miracle. When you were little and almost got hit by a car, I pulled you back. When you were young and thought about ending it all, I put someone in your path. When you were an adult and disease nearly took your life, it was I who fought death hand to hand until it retreated. But today, I must confess something that tears at my angelic essence. I am exhausted. Not from protecting you, never that. I'm tired of shouting and not being heard. I'm tired of sending help and having you attribute everything to fate. My warrior spirit, forged in the fires of eternity, is wounded because you no longer recognize me. Even worse, you no longer recognize who you are. The truth I am now allowed to reveal is both devastating and liberating. You were not born by chance at this time, in this place or into this family. You were chosen. You carry within you a spark of the sacred fire itself. Before coming to this dimension, your soul stood before the eternal throne and accepted a mission that would make veteran angels hesitate. You agreed to be born with a spiritual key, a frequency that can open portals of liberation for thousands of imprisoned souls. That is why they hate you so much. That is why your life has always been a constant battle. You have always felt as if you were swimming against an invisible current, and as if hidden forces were conspiring against you at every turn. And they were. In the dark regions, there is a decree bearing your name, written in blood. It is an order of spiritual extermination that mobilizes entire hosts against you. But there is also a more powerful decree engraved in heavenly gold that declares, "This soul belongs to me. No one will touch it without first passing through my General Miguel." Write this mantra in the comments. No evil can touch me, for I am protected by the light of angels. Doing so will seal your energy with heavenly power and prevent any shadow from approaching you while you receive this revelation. By writing these words, you are declaring to the universe that you choose to awaken and accept your true identity. Understand that every wound in your life has been strategic. Every pain has taught you empathy. Every betrayal has shown you the value of truth. Every night of tears has prepared you to wipe away the tears of others. You have been tempered in the fire of adversity, because ordinary people could not bear the weight of your mission. Your sensitivity is not a weakness, but rather your most powerful weapon. Your ability to feel deeply allows you to heal wounds that others cannot even see. However, there is something urgent I need to warn you about. A spiritual storm is approaching this land. Dark times are coming, and warriors of light like you are essential during this transition. You are not just another person trying to survive in this world. You are a beacon of light, strategically positioned to prevent the darkness from advancing. You are a healer of souls, destined to bring hope where there is only despair. You are a curse breaker, called to free captives who don't even know they're imprisoned. That is why I am here, begging you to wake up, not tomorrow and not when you feel ready, but right now. Time is running out, and your participation in this spiritual war is mandatory. It is your destiny and your heavenly inheritance, the reason your soul chose to incarnate now. You have no idea what lies behind the veil of your everyday reality. While you live your life thinking that everything is a coincidence or normal circumstance, a whole other realm of spiritual battles is being waged around you. You are at the center of this invisible war, yet you don't suspect your importance in the eternal plans. Today, however, everything will change, because I am going to tear away that veil and show you the truth that has been hidden from you. During all this time that I have been by your side, I have witnessed things that would shake your faith, while simultaneously strengthening it beyond measure. I saw them put your name on profane altars and perform rituals against you in the dead of night. Someone close to you, someone you trust, has a face you could never have imagined. They smile at you by day and whisper your name to entities that dwell in the shadows by night. This person has been completely overtaken by merciless forces and now acts as a Trojan horse in your life. But I was there. I intercepted every spell cast against you. Every curse directed at you I deflected. I closed every portal opened to destroy you with my sword of fire. Some days you woke up feeling inexplicably tired, with pains in your body for no apparent reason, and a sudden, inexplicable sadness. It wasn't depression. It was spiritual warfare. Those were the echoes of the battles I fought in invisible dimensions to keep you standing, to keep you alive, and to help you walk toward your purpose. There is something more disturbing you need to know. In recent months, your spiritual enemies have changed their strategy. They realized that direct attacks wouldn't work because my protection was too strong. So, they started working through people close to you. They manipulate feelings, plant doubts, and create conflict where there should be harmony. How many times have you found yourself arguing over trivial matters with your loved ones? How many times have you felt misunderstood for no apparent reason? It wasn't a coincidence. It was spiritual manipulation orchestrated against you. There is an even more shocking revelation. You have a gift you don't even know you have. When you pray, even if it's just a quick thought sent to the heavens, it generates waves of energy that cross dimensions. Your tears don't fall to the ground. Celestial beings collect them in crystal cups because each drop has the power to break the spiritual chains of people you don't even know. Your presence in certain places disables invisible traps set for others. You are a walking channel of blessings, yet you don't suspect it. Write in the comments, "I now activate my spiritual protection shield." This simple act will strengthen your aura and prevent any energy imbalances from affecting you, as I continue to reveal truths that will shake your understanding of reality. However, I must now tell you about the betrayal being planned. Recently, I have noticed strange activity around you. There have been whispered conversations when you leave the house, exchanged glances when you are not looking, and plans being made behind your back. Someone very close to you has already decided to harm you in a shocking way. This person has made secret agreements to destroy something important in your life. It could be your reputation, a relationship, or an opportunity you've been waiting for. This betrayal has been planned to occur at the moment when you are most emotionally vulnerable. They know exactly when to strike to cause the most damage. However, I am revealing this to you now, because there is still time to reverse the situation. When you hear these words with true faith and open your heart to receive this heavenly protection, the evil plans will begin to unravel. The person planning to betray you will feel an inexplicable discomfort whenever they think about carrying out the plan. If this message touches your heart, consider supporting this channel with a gesture of light. Click on "Thank you very much." Your support helps keep this mission alive, delivering words that heal and awaken souls lost in darkness. What hurts me the most is knowing that you have been praying for signs and asking God to manifest Himself in your life. He has been answering you through me, through dreams, and through seemingly random situations that were actually orchestrated by the heavens. How many times have you met the right person at the right time? How many times have you received important information through a seemingly casual conversation? How many times has a door closed to protect you from something terrible you didn't know existed? The most important revelation, though, is this. You are being prepared for something great that is about to happen. All this pressure you've been feeling, this sense that you need to change something in your life, this spiritual restlessness consuming you, is because your true mission is about to begin. You will set people free, break generational curses, bring healing to places of hurt, and bring light to places of darkness. There are secrets buried in your family history that explain much of what you have experienced. Your family tree is extraordinary, and that's no figure of speech. Royal blood runs through your veins, not of earthly royalty, but of a spiritual dynasty dating back to the beginning of creation. Your ancestors made covenants with the Most High that extend to you, creating a heritage of protection and purpose. The powers of darkness have been trying to destroy this heritage for generations. For 3 generations before you, there have been systematic attempts to break this sacred lineage. Your great-grandparents faced inexplicable persecution. Your grandparents endured hardships disproportionate to their mistakes. Your parents carried emotional burdens that were more than just psychological issues. All of this happened because of a generational curse aimed at your family to prevent you from reaching this moment of awakening. However, the enemy did not count on the fact that every attack against your lineage only strengthened the anointing you carry. Like gold purified by fire, the hardships your family has faced have contributed to your extraordinary spiritual resilience. You have inherited the challenges and the strength to overcome them. Not only the wounds, but also the power to heal them. You have inherited not only the tears, but also the authority to wipe them away. There is something about your birth that you need to know. The day you were born was not an ordinary day in the spiritual realm. A rare cosmic alignment occurred, a confluence of heavenly forces that happens only once every century. When you took your first breath at that moment, a star lit up in the spiritual firmament, signaling to all heavenly beings that a special warrior had arrived on Earth. Simultaneously, there was a terrified silence in the dark regions because they recognized the spiritual signature you carried. That is why your life has always been different. That is why you have always felt that you do not quite fit in anywhere. That is why you are so sensitive and can perceive things that others ignore. You feel other people's pain as if it were your own. You have prophetic dreams and premonitions that come true. You have intuitions that save you from dangerous situations. None of this is paranormal. It's your spiritual heritage manifesting itself. But I also want you to know about the sacrifices I have made for you. There are other souls under my protection, other chosen ones who need angelic cover. However, the order I received about you was categorical. You have absolute priority. There have been times when I had to abandon more vulnerable children of God to come to your rescue. I have fought battles alone against entire legions of demons because I was focused on keeping you safe. Write in the comments, "The presence of angels surrounds me and keeps me safe in all my ways." This gesture opens the wings of heavenly protection over you, creating an even more intense shield that no evil force can penetrate. Do you remember waking up in the middle of the night with a terrible feeling, as if something heavy were in your room? It wasn't a nightmare, it wasn't your imagination. It was a demonic presence that had gotten close to you while you slept. I arrived at the last second and fought a fierce battle that lasted until dawn. You woke up exhausted, not knowing why. Your soul had felt the echoes of the war fought to protect you. Remember that near-miss accident? When something made you stop just seconds before crossing the street? What about that strange feeling that made you give up on getting into that elevator? That inexplicable impulse that made you cancel a trip? In all these situations, I was whispering in your spirit, diverting you from traps meticulously prepared to destroy you. But there is an even deeper truth that I need to share. You are not only protected, you are also a protector. Your presence in certain places breaks curses affecting others. Your prayers, even the simplest ones, neutralize spells cast against innocent people. Even when you feel weak, your spiritual light illuminates paths for souls lost in absolute darkness. The heavenly archives keep a record of every time your existence has changed someone's destiny, even when you don't know it. That casual conversation you had with a stranger in line at the bank prevented a suicide. The smile you gave to a sad child broke a generational curse. The prayer you said for a situation you saw on the news freed captives in a spiritual prison on the other side of the world. You are far more powerful, important, and necessary in this world than you realize, believe, or recognize. That is precisely why the attacks against you are so intense. The enemy knows that if you fully awaken to who you are and what you can do, their dark operations will collapse like sandcastles. The time has come for you to learn about the most elaborate conspiracy ever mounted against one person. For the past 5 years, a specific group of evil entities has been meeting regularly to plan your downfall. This is not a metaphor nor spiritual symbolism. These are real meetings in parallel dimensions, where they devise detailed strategies with one goal: to prevent you from fulfilling your destiny. These entities have discovered something about you that you don't even know yet. Within your spiritual DNA, there is a code that can trigger a mass awakening in humanity once activated. You are what we might call the Master Key, a soul with the power to open portals of consciousness for thousands of people simultaneously. That is why they need to neutralize you before you discover who you really are. Their main strategy has been to keep you too busy to stop and listen to your soul. They orchestrate situations that drain your vital energy and create relationships that rob you of your inner peace. They cause financial problems that keep your mind constantly preoccupied. They don't want to destroy you completely. They want to keep you in a state of survival, where you would never be able to access your true power. And it has worked, hasn't it? How many times have you felt like you were living on autopilot, merely reacting to problems as they arose with no time to reflect on your greater purpose? How many times have you said, "One day I'll stop and think about my life," but that day never came because something else always came up? This is no coincidence. It's systematic spiritual sabotage, but there is something they did not foresee. The intensity of the attacks against you has forged a resistance within you that is now the key to your awakening. Every wound has been transformed into wisdom. Every betrayal has taught you discernment. Every disappointment has brought you closer to the only truth that matters. You don't belong entirely to this world, because your true homeland is in heaven. Write in the comments, "My heart is light, and no evil can withstand this vibration." This is not just a mantra. It's a declaration of spiritual warfare against everything that has tried to keep you small, limited, and invisible. I want to tell you about a vision I had about your near future. I saw you standing before a crowd, but you were not speaking with your ordinary voice. Rather, it was your true spiritual voice, charged with an authority that made demons flee and angels bow in reverence. I saw people being freed from addictions simply by hearing your words. I saw decades-old curses being broken by your mere presence in the room. I saw impossible healings occur when you laid your hands on the sick. If you felt this message touch you deeply, please consider supporting this work by clicking "Thank you." This gesture, however small it may seem, helps us continue spreading these messages of light to those who most need to awaken to their true identity. For this vision to become reality, though, you must undergo a process of spiritual activation that began the moment you heard these words. It's as if a cosmic switch has been flipped inside you. Over the next few weeks, you will begin to notice subtle yet profound changes in your perception of reality. You will have more vivid dreams and more accurate intuitions. You will have a greater ability to discern the true intentions of those around you. You will also start bothering people who previously did not care about you. Your new spiritual vibration will expose the falseness of some relationships and reveal alliances you didn't know existed. Do not be alarmed when this happens. It is a sign that the transformation process is working. Light disturbs those who prefer to live in darkness. There is a specific date marked on the celestial calendars for your complete awakening. I cannot reveal the date, but I can tell you that it is very close. When that day comes, it will be as if a fog that has covered your eyes your entire life has been instantly lifted. You will understand the reason for every pain you have felt, every tear you have shed, and every battle you have faced. There is a test you must pass before that date arrives. In the coming weeks, situations will arise that will challenge your faith in ways you never imagined. People you trust will disappoint you. Opportunities that seem perfect will turn out to be traps. Paths that seem safe will prove to be full of thorns. None of this is punishment. It is training to help you learn to trust the heavenly voice within rather than outward appearances. The enemy will try to use these situations to convince you that you are being abandoned by heaven. You will be told that everything I have told you is an illusion and that you are just another ordinary person going through normal difficulties. But know that I will be there, whispering the truth in your heart. You are special. You are chosen. You are loved in a way that transcends any human understanding. When the test reaches its peak and you feel you've reached your limit, remember this. Remember that I, Michael, am fighting invisible battles to keep you standing. Remember that your pain has a purpose, your struggle has meaning, and your victory has been assured since before the foundation of the world. There comes a time in every chosen one's life when heaven stops whispering and starts shouting. That moment has come for you now. The time for subtle signs, delicate coincidences, and gentle touches on your spirit has passed. Now is the time for direct revelation and confrontation with the absolute truth about who you are and why you are here at this moment in history. I need to tell you about a meeting that took place yesterday in the heavenly realms. It was not a regular assembly of angels. It was an emergency council convened specifically because of you. The report I presented to the throne was alarming. You are dangerously close to abandoning your mission without even knowing it exists. The pressure you've been feeling, the intensified attacks, and the sense that everything is falling apart around you are all because you're on the threshold of a transformation that the powers of darkness fear more than anything else. The decision made at that meeting was unprecedented in angelic history. For the first time, an archangel was permitted to fully reveal the future of a chosen one while they were still alive. Typically, this information is kept secret until the person dies. But your case is exceptional. You need to know now what awaits you because only by knowing your true identity will you be able to endure what is to come. In the coming months, you will witness the collapse of systems that seemed eternal and unshakable. Governments that considered themselves indestructible will crumble like houses of cards. Religious institutions that presented themselves as sacred will have their hypocrisies exposed. Relationships that seemed solid will be revealed to be built on lies. None of this is a coincidence. It is preparation for a new era that is dawning, and you are one of the spiritual midwives of this birth. Write in the comments, I am guided, protected, and strengthened by the angels of good. Receive this strength in your life in a tangible way because what I am about to reveal will shake all your certainties about reality. During these chaotic times, desperate people will seek you out for answers. It will not be by chance. A light will radiate from you so intensely that lost souls will be drawn to your presence like a magnet. You will discover that you have the power to bring peace to the anguished heart with just one word. You will find that your hands carry healing energy that can relieve pain no medicine has touched. You will find that your presence can break oppressive atmospheres and bring hope to places of despair. However, this discovery comes at a price. The more you accept who you really are, the more intense the attacks against you will become. The enemy will use your loved ones to convince you that you're crazy, that you're thinking too highly of yourself, and that you need to keep your feet on the ground. They will do this because they know that if you completely believe in your spiritual power, the war will be won. There is an ancient prophecy that speaks specifically about you. It was written thousands of years ago by a prophet who saw your face in a vision and wept as he contemplated your destiny. The prophecy says, in the darkest hours of human history, when hope seems dead and evil reigns unopposed, a heart will arise that carries within it the original flame of creation. This heart will not initially know its power, but when it awakens, it will cause darkness to flee like mist before the sun. That heart is yours. The flame burning in your chest at this very moment is that flame, even if you cannot yet feel it fully. This is why your life has been so difficult, why you have faced so many battles, and why you have endured so many trials. It was not punishment. It was preparation. It was not divine abandonment. It was heavenly forging. You were shaped for this moment in history. There is something else you need to know about the coming events. Soon you will receive a proposal that seems like the solution to all your problems. It may be a seemingly perfect job offer, a relationship that seems to be everything you've ever dreamed of, or a financial opportunity that promises to solve all your problems. But I tell you with all angelic authority, this proposal is an elaborate trap designed to lead you astray from your path. The temptation will be almost irresistible because it will be presented at a time when you are most vulnerable, either financially or emotionally. Remember this: anything that tries to lead you away from your spiritual awakening, no matter how attractive it seems, is a trap set by the enemy. True prosperity does not come from earthly agreements. It comes from aligning with your heavenly purpose. When temptation comes, you will know because you will feel an inexplicable discomfort in your spirit, a sense that something is not right, even though everything seems perfect logically. That is my voice whispering warnings to you. Do not ignore those whispers. They could mean the difference between fulfilling your destiny and wasting your life on a golden illusion. Time is running out fast. The window of opportunity for your complete awakening will not remain open forever. If you continue to resist the truth about who you are, others will take your place on the front lines of this spiritual battle, not because they are better than you, but because you chose to remain asleep while the world needed you to wake up. This is the most critical moment of our conversation, where everything revealed thus far becomes a definitive decision. There is no time left for hesitation, no room for doubt, and no luxury of postponing what you know deep down must be done. The entire universe is waiting for your response to the call that has echoed through the dimensions to reach you. In the last few minutes, invisible but real changes have been taking place around you as these words penetrated your consciousness. Guardian angels who had been away returned to their positions as sentinels. Spiritual portals that had remained closed began to open. Celestial frequencies that you could not perceive began tuning into your soul. However, all of this is reversible. It all depends on your conscious choice to accept or reject your true identity. Stop for a moment and feel what is happening inside your chest right now. Do you feel a different vibration? It's an internal tremor, but it's not anxiety or fear. It's recognition. It's your soul finally rediscovering its original frequency after years of interference and spiritual noise. It's like tuning a musical instrument that has been out of tune for a long time. There's a sense of adjustment, of fitting in, and of returning home spiritually. If this message touches your heart, please support its delivery by clicking "Thank you." Thanks to gestures like this, we are able to continue bringing messages like this to those who most need to awaken to their true nature. However, I must be brutally honest about what it means to fully accept yourself. It is not an easy path. It is a path of spiritual responsibility that demands everything from you. When you embrace your chosen nature, the rules of the game change completely. You can no longer turn a blind eye to the suffering of others. You can't ignore injustices by pretending they aren't your problem. Your life now belongs to a greater cause, so you can no longer live for yourself. In the coming days, you will undergo a final test to determine if you are ready to take your place on the front lines of this spiritual battle. Someone very close to you will deeply hurt you. It won't be an accident. It will be a calculated action to test whether you can forgive, even when betrayal comes from where you least expect it. How you react to this situation will determine whether you pass or fail this heavenly test. If you respond with vengeance, bitterness, or a desire for retaliation, the awakening process will be interrupted temporarily. It will not be permanent, because divine love never gives up. However, you will have to wait for a new opportunity, which may take years to arrive. However, if you respond with genuine forgiveness and compassion for those who hurt you, and with a love that transcends human understanding, the final seal will be broken, and you will enter a new dimension of spiritual power. Write in the comments, "I am protected by invisible forces working on my behalf." This will allow angels to work more powerfully in your life during this period of testing and transformation. There is one final truth I need to share with you about what happens after you fully accept your mission. Your life won't get easier, but it will become more meaningful. Your problems won't disappear, but they will gain purpose. Your tears won't stop falling, but each one has the power to water the seeds of hope in barren hearts. Your pain doesn't diminish. It transforms into a healing balm for others' wounds. There is also something you need to know about your family. In the coming months, everyone around you will benefit from your spiritual awakening, even if they don't understand what's happening. Generational curses that have affected your relatives for decades will begin to break. Destructive patterns repeated in your family line will end. Blessings that have been blocked for generations will begin to flow again. All of this will happen because you have chosen to accept who you really are. However, I must also warn you about the resistance you will face, even within your own home. Not everyone will celebrate your transformation. Some people prefer you to be limited, small, and dependent because it makes them feel more secure in their own mediocrity. When you begin to shine with your true light, it will disturb those who have chosen to remain in the darkness. Prepare to be misunderstood, even by your loved ones. The moment of decision has arrived. I can no longer delay my departure. The heavenly orders are clear. If you do not respond to this call, I must withdraw and allow free will to take its natural course. This is not because divine love has ended. It is because true love respects choices, even when those choices mean remaining asleep when one should awaken. Your soul knows this is the opportunity you asked for in secret prayers, tears shed in solitude, and whispers sent to the heavens when no one else could hear you. This is the answer to all your prayers for purpose, meaning, and reason for existence. This is the door you begged to be opened. It is open now, but not forever. All of eternity awaits your response. The angels have suspended their activities to hear your decision. Time itself seems to have stopped, so that you may have this moment of absolute choice. What will it be? Will you continue to pretend that you are just another ordinary person living an ordinary life? Or will you accept the devastating yet liberating truth that you are a child of the stars, disguised as a mortal? The silence between us right now is not empty. It is the sacred silence that precedes every true transformation, every decision that alters the course of eternity, and every choice that divides existence into a before and an after. In this moment, you are deciding not just about your own life. You are deciding the fate of hundreds of souls who depend on your awakening to find their way back to the light. If you have come this far and heard every word I have spoken, and your heart still beats in tune with this revelation, then you already know your answer. It is not your rational mind that will decide. It has already been bombarded with logical arguments to ignore all this. Your immortal soul is making the choice, the same soul that existed before you were born, and will exist long after your body returns to dust. Know that this is not the end of our conversation. It is the beginning of an eternal partnership. If you choose to accept who you really are, I will not leave your side. I will become more present in your life, more active in protecting you, and more powerful in your battles. The difference is that you will now be able to hear me clearly. You will recognize my voice and know when I am guiding your steps. In the coming days, you will begin to see external confirmations of everything that has been revealed here. You will find information, people, and situations that validate every word I have spoken. It will not be a coincidence. The universe will conspire in your favor to show you that you made the right choice, embraced your true nature, and finally woke up from the spiritual slumber that kept your power dormant. Write in the comments, I am at peace, I am in the light, I am protected. Let this vibration echo in your soul because it seals your commitment to the light and activates spiritual protections that will accompany you for all eternity. There is one last revelation I must share about your representation on the celestial plane. In the eternal archives, there is a book called The Names of Those Who Never Bowed Down. Only those who kept the flame of hope and faith alive, even in the most adverse circumstances, are recorded in this book. Your name is written in this book in letters of gold. It is not because of any special merit, but because your soul has always known that it belongs to something greater than this world. Even during the moments when you felt abandoned, rejected, and misunderstood, you never completely succumbed to despair. You always kept a small flame of faith alive, no matter how dim. It was that flame that allowed me to find you among the crowd of lost souls. It caused extraordinary forces to move the heavens to protect you. That flame ensured this message reached you at the exact moment you needed it most. Now that little flame will become a bonfire. Then it will become a torch. Finally, it will become a beacon that will light the way for thousands of people stumbling in the darkness. You will find that you have the power to inspire those who have lost hope. You will find that your words have the spiritual power to break invisible chains. You will find that your presence alone can transform atmospheres and bring peace where there was only war. This is the moment when our conversation becomes a commitment. If you felt that each word was directed specifically to you, if you recognized your story between the lines of this message, if your soul trembled with emotion upon discovering that you are not alone in this world, then you know that you can no longer pretend to be just another ordinary person. From now on, people will seek you out for deeper conversations. They will want to understand why your presence brings peace, why your words carry weight, and why you seem to see beyond appearances. Don't be alarmed by this. It's your true self finally emerging after years of being hidden under layers of social conditioning and unfounded fears. When hard times come, and they will because it's part of the process, remember that you won't face anything alone. I will be there, sword in hand and wings spread over you, fighting battles your eyes cannot see, but your soul can feel. Remember that every difficulty is an opportunity to demonstrate your inner strength. You were forged in the fire of adversity for those moments when the world needs someone who won't fall apart, when everything seems to be falling apart. If this message has deeply touched your heart, if you recognize your own journey in these words, or if something inside you has awakened to a truth you have always known but could never express, then I invite you to connect with this spiritual family. Subscribe to this channel not just as a viewer, but as someone who recognizes that you are part of something bigger, an awakening movement sweeping the planet. Share in the comments how this message has touched your life. Tell us about your story, your struggles, your dreams, and your fears. Let your transparency be a light for others going through the same discovery process. Sometimes, your words may be exactly what someone else needs to hear to not give up on their own awakening. The spiritual family we're building here is more than just a group of people watching videos. We are an army of light in formation, a network of awakened souls who support each other. We are a community where no one needs to pretend to be less than they truly are. You belong here. Your light is needed here. Your story is important to us. Welcome to your true spiritual home. Welcome to your true family. Welcome to your true life. The journey has just begun.